Ever since I was a young boy, I'd gone to church on most Sundays. Why stop now? It had been several days since I last had a proper meal. I didn't realize how hungry I was until my bloodlust was satiated that morning. I couldn't even find a damn lighter for my smokes. I have been looting houses alone for the most part. My partner, Archie, seemed to be hiding something from me. His whole demeanor shifted too suddenly. He seemed more irritable and stressed. It was almost impossible to talk to him properly. Against my better judgment, I told him to come with me to hit the supermarket for supplies. I figured that, with his help, we'd collect more food in one visit. There were a few groups of shamblers waiting for us, of course. Nothing we couldn't handle. The minutes go by like seconds. I looked back to check on Archie, or rather, what had become of Archie. I got into the supermarket after clearing some of the last few shamblers wandering about. It's funny how just not long ago I was there choosing foods I want. Now I was packing anything and everything I could carry, regardless of whether I liked it or not. After bagging some supplies, I drove back to the station to unload and prepare for a second trip. After almost damn near breaking my back lugging cans of food to the car, I spotted a living individual running down the road in my direction. Behind him, an entire horde of shamblers. The fool was bringing them here. Every bone in my body wanted to stay and fight, to kill them all. So I did. I lured them away from the car, made my way back around, and drove back to the station. In this day and age, you cannot afford to be careless and relaxed, especially at home. I learnt this the hard way when a complete stranger walked in the room whilst I lit a smoke with my last matchstick. I was going to kill him. He quickly introduced himself as Tom, and it turns out he was a fireman previously, and this was his station. Still wanting to bargain, he offered me any of his belongings, and in return, he would be able to hunker down and live in the station like me. He sifted through some junk until I saw the light glimmer off a silver object. He had to be the luckiest man to walk in the station. I took the object and we made peace. Finally, a lighter. As I stepped into my quarters that night, I felt glass crunching beneath my boot. The entrance to my quarters was surrounded by shards of broken glass. That bastard Archie must have left me a parting gift as payback for locking him in the bathroom. I considered going all the way back out there near the supermarket where he lay and shooting him again, but he wasn't worth the trouble. I was tired and had to conserve my energy for the road trip the following day. Tom and I agreed to head to a small town called Grapeseed, northwest of Rosewood. I don't think the persistent prick would have ever shut up if we didn't go. My ammunition boxes were getting lighter each day, and Tom didn't even have a gun. He mentioned that his family owned a gun store there and that he had working keys to access the display cabinets and storage room behind the store. So that's where we headed. We arrived at the store, and holy shit, was he right? The place had guns, lots of them. The store was filled with military equipment too, undoubtedly useful in today's world. Unlike the fancy getup Tom seemed enamored by. But what really caught my eye was the chalk written on the ground outside. Alive inside. Piqued at the thought of encountering other human beings, I followed the arrow into the alleyway and up the stairs. Who are these people? Can these people help us? How many shamblers have they killed? How many people have they killed? Why? Countless different scenarios of how the survivors might interact with Tom and I raced through my mind. The hallways were blocked and barricaded with tables and filing cabinets, making it a struggle to get through. After moving furniture and stepping through the junk, we eventually made it inside, but there was nobody there. The place was abandoned, like the rest of the town. A complete and utter wreck. We had gotten our hopes up for nothing. We made our way through the hallway and rooms until we reached the room at the end of the hallway. It was a bar. Tom tossed me a beer from behind the bar. "It's on the house," he quipped. I let out a small chuckle. Yeah, I guess it was. We sat down, cracked open our beers, and drank to this rare opportunity and enjoyed the moment. Now, as much as I hate to admit it, Tom was an all-right guy. Sure, he was eccentric at times, and I still have a lot to learn about him, but over the long course of my life, I have met many people, and I can say, Tom strikes me as one of the good ones, the ones you need for times like this. The type of guy to help you kill a man and drink tea with you the same day. And I hope he felt the same way, because what I was about to ask him was suicide.